Hey, if there's one gift that I could give you, it'll be the gift of being unstoppable. But you don't have to be gifted. It's an attitude and an acquirable mindset. So stick around. I'm going to give you 26 different ways that you can become unstoppable. Listen, too many dreams have been lost without it. Marriages have been broken without it. And many businesses that could have thrived and didn't change the world because they didn't possess this type of mindset. And so many more human accomplishments could have been achieved if only more people possessed this mindset. So I'm going to give you a formula that works. So step number 1 is get serious about life. If you're not willing to be serious about life, look, stop this video, move on, go find something more entertaining. That's step number 1, is getting serious about life. And it doesn't mean you have to be uptight. It means you're serious about designing your life the way that you want to design it, the way that you want to design it for your family and achieving your bigger goals and dreams. So let's get serious. You need a dream, you need a vision, you need a plan, you need goals, and you need to become mentally tougher, more emotionally intelligent, and you need to become unstoppable. Step number 2 is be the hardest worker in the room. Look, the hardest worker can also become the smartest and go the farthest. You have to gain massive momentum, and that only happens by working hard. You want to gain a lot of experience, you go out there and you work really hard. Many people think they can plant 3 seeds and get a chair and just watch the 3 seeds and look at the 3 seeds and think to themselves, hey, I believe in you. I think you will grow. I think you're amazing. Come on, please, why aren't you growing? I mean, you can't do that. You have to plant so many seeds, and that way enough crop is going to grow. That's how you get things done. I had a goal to become the hardest worker in the room. My mentors inspired me. Most people are lazy, they're slow, they lack urgency. Many times they fear failure, and that could be one of the underlying issues. Or they like to do what's fun and easy rather than what's hard and difficult, as Brian Tracy says. Look, you don't want to be like that. You want to make sure that you're not like that. You want to be a harder worker, and it's not that hard, as we said, so you can easily develop a stronger work ethic than most, because most people are not doing anything. So aspire to outwork yourself, but also learn how to be effective and efficient with work. It's not just about how many hours that you put in, but what you put into the hours that counts. So have the courage to work very hard. Step number 3 is start thinking big. Les Brown says most people fail in life not because they aim too high and miss, but because they aim too low and hit. Norman Vincent Peale says, shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you land amongst the stars. T. Harv Eker says, shoot for the stars, you'll at least hit the moon. So you're already using your brain. You might as well think big. People say, I don't need too much, I'm happy with the way things are. This is a lazy response, my friends. My mentor once said, and I love this, if you're broke, you're selfish. I want to extend that to if you're unsuccessful, you're selfish. And I'm not here to tickle your ears, so if you can put up with my straightforward approach and speaking just outright, then stick along, because you're going to get some value out of this. How many people are suffering right now because you're not as successful as you should or could be? Think about that. Are you married? Do you have a partner? Do you have kids? Do you have great friends? Do you have a great community that you can be looking after? You have to stop getting consumed in your own feelings and emotions that hold you down. Think about who you could do this for, and think outside the box and be honest with yourself. People need you. You need you. So you got to think bigger. You got to build bigger. You got to build a bigger investment portfolio. You got to nurture a more loving and giving heart. You got to find your purpose and make an impact. And look, here's the truth. You can't give if you don't have anything to give. You aren't here by accident. I mean, you had to battle so many different seeds to make it into the egg. I don't want to get too explicit, but you're here for a reason. You could have been anyone else, but you are you, and you are you with a purpose. Now you got to discover what that purpose is. That's a big job on its own, but we're going to give you some clues about that. It's an uphill battle. Life is an uphill battle, and life is hard. So you've got to read the books to make life easy. You got to do the courses to make life easy. You got to listen to things on YouTube to make life easier, and stretch your own belief system, because sometimes we don't believe in ourselves, and that's what causes us not to think bigger. So we stay inside this box. But what you want to do, you want to get outside of your comfort zone a little bit by little bit by little bit by little bit. And every time you stretch and expand your comfort zone, then now your comfort zone is bigger. So you need to keep on getting outside of that bigger comfort zone. And that's the only way you feel alive. That's why sometimes people go out there and jump out of a plane and they do all this crazy stuff, because they need to get out of their comfort zone to feel alive. And that happens when you're producing and building and doing things for yourself and for your family as well. So raise your level of thinking until you become unstoppable. Watch how much your life will change. Look, you're using your brain anyway, so we're just giving you a better way to use your brain. Step number 4 is practice becoming disciplined. You can have all the skills in the world, you can have the biggest intelligence in the world, but if you're not disciplined, you are operating at less than 10% of your potential. Discipline is the bridge, it's the foundation. If you're building a house, picture building a house. If you don't have a foundation, everything's gonna crumble. Discipline is what makes you do what's necessary, what's hard but necessary. You can't neglect the important things. Jim Rohn says success is a few simple disciplines practiced each day. Or failure is neglecting things every single day, even if it's small things. You got an apple a day keeps the doctor away, and also, a burger every day brings the doctor your way. So it works both ways. One apple though is not gonna hurt you, one burger is not gonna hurt you, but continuous discipline or continuous neglect, that's where it makes a difference. And you can't just sit there and say, oh, it's the 31st of December, new year, new me. I'm gonna get 365 apples and I'm gonna eat them all on January 1st. And the rest of the year is going to be amazing. Life doesn't work like that, my friend. Brian Tracy says, eat that frog. What does that mean? That means you got to do what's hard until life becomes easy. You got to find the things that are big in your life, that are chunky and hairy, and the tasks that bring you the most results, but you don't like them as much. They're not as easy, but you've got to get them done, and that's what gets you the most results. That equals discipline, because you're doing the hard things. Les Brown says, do what's easy and your life will be hard. Do what's hard and your life will be easy. Now, what you want to do here is you want to make sure you're doing what's hard, you discipline yourself, and you make that a habit. It becomes easy when you do that, and then your life will become so much easier, more enjoyable. You can have some more freedoms. You can have financial freedom. You can have a family and a system around them that you spend most of your time with them. There's so much that you could do with this, and what you want to do is you want to do a daily to-do list. Even half it if you have to. Half your to-do list, halving that can actually double your production, because sometimes we get overwhelmed with how much we have on our to-do list that we just neglect it and we don't even get it done because it's big and hairy and scary and too much is on there. So make sure you get it done. Whatever is on your to-do list, get that done. That's going to increase your confidence. That's going to help with your discipline, because you're not neglecting, you're doing it every single day. Think about what type of person you need to be to get all your goals accomplished. And what you want to do is you want to enact that character. I'm not saying be fake, but start resembling the characteristics and the qualities of a successful person if you want to become successful. That's how you wire your brain to become successful. Now look up the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins, and that will help you get into action really fast and stop the procrastination. Read discipline books, do some discipline courses, listen to discipline affirmations, watch discipline clips on YouTube like this, and affirm to yourself that you are disciplined every single day until that really sticks with you and it happens. And you can even write that down. I did that for a long time, writing things that I wanted to put into my personality, and I just kept writing them every single day. Write it 5 times in the morning, write it 5 times in the morning, write it 5 times in the morning. Now, what you can also do is start a gym routine, an exercise routine. Martial arts is my favorite. The reason being is because it helps you have mind over matter. It's tough when you're training, and I was training with a special forces soldier, and he was really toughening us up. If we wanted to quit, our bodies wanted to quit, but he wouldn't let us. He'd look at us right dead in the eye and say, you're gonna give up? Are you gonna give up? Are you gonna give up? Are you weak? Are you weak? And here we are, just like staying up, and that did so much for me. Look, if you really wanted to get this done, you will find a way to become disciplined, and if not, you will find an excuse. Step number 5 is develop real commitment. Now, I've been married for about 7 years, and imagine when we were getting married, the priest said, are you 100% committed? And I said, I am 99% committed. I would have had a fist mark on my face because of that. Imagine, everyone could commit for a week. It's those who commit until they see it through that win. And sometimes you gotta burn all bridges and cut off all ties from quitting. And when I say committing to the things that contribute towards your better life. There was a story of a general that went to war, and they went to this island with a ship, and the whole army got out of the ship, and they were gonna face this strong army. And what the general did was he told all his soldiers to point their arrows, burning arrows, they put them on fire, towards the ship. And what happened was they burned the ship down. And he looked at him and said, it's either we win or die. That's the type of commitment you got to make sometimes. It's do or die. That's what do or die really means. It's not a particular vehicle that needs to take you towards your dreams. You can find different vehicles to take you towards your dreams, but your dream, you don't give up on. That's do or die for your dream. And don't overcommit either. Say no way more often. You have to guard your time. You have to guard your energy. And when you commit, Don't be sloppy. Don't allow the bully to take over in your head. If you commit to a certain goal or task and then your self-talk is bullying you and saying you can't do it, you suck, you're not good enough. Remember all your failures. Remember all the people laughing at you. Not enough people liked your Facebook post. So that means no one's interested in your goals and what you want to do. Look, the best definition of commitment I've heard in my whole life was commitment is doing the thing that you said you were going to do long after the mood that you set it in has left you. So make sure you commit no matter what your mood is. Make sure you commit until you see it through. Step number 6 is be consistent. Consistency is extremely important. We live in an impatient microwave society right now. It is crazy. Social media, immediate gratification. We want results now. We want a reply now. We want everything now. We want 2-minute noodles in a minute. We want popcorn, but this is a metaphor, but we're not willing to let the popcorn pop within 2.5 minutes. What we're willing to do is get it out every 30 seconds, check if it's popped or not, put it back in, check again if it's popped or not, put it back in multiple times until it reaches 2.5 minutes. It's not gonna pop the same way. You gotta understand that it takes consistency and pressure for something to really take off. It's like a magnifying glass. If you have a magnifying glass and you are in this dry bush land somewhere, in Australia we have a lot of that, and you bring a magnifying glass and you put it on yellow dry grass, what will happen after some time, if the sun is magnifying through the glass, it's gonna catch on fire. Or when you're out at the beach and you're trying to suntan and you keep the sun's rays shining off your body for a long enough time, your skin's gonna burn. And this allows for anything to burn, to pop, to reach momentum and compound. You have to put enough consistency on a certain task for that task to pull through. I've done this many times. My businesses now, I've had to put consistent effort into each one of them, at least for condensed amounts of time until they took off and they had some sort of momentum, and then I just put some on autopilot because they had been structured that way. And you too can do something similar to that. You don't always have to be consistent on everything in your life. You just have to be consistent enough on certain goals until they take off, and then you can hire people to look after them. You can do certain things to keep those things going, but you have to be a consistent person in your life in general. Step number 7 is to be persistent. You can't give up easily. You have to be stubborn towards your goals and your dreams. You have to be. Murphy's Law is going to show up in every direction. When you're trying to pursue something, when you're trying to achieve something, it's like the world tests you. Is this person strong enough to handle this? Is this person strong enough to handle that level of success and that level of management? You have to persist. You have to persist with class though. You can't be annoying. For example, if you're in sales, you persist by following up when you say you're going to follow up, and you don't stop, and you do it elegantly until the person gives you an answer or a response or they end up buying. But you can't keep annoying and pestering the person. You got to be persistent with class. Step number 8 is develop the skill of focus and flow. You can ask any super successful person, they'll tell you that the most important thing is focus, and focus stands for follow one course until successful. Focus can help you achieve what many people can achieve in a year, or will achieve in a year, in a month. That's how much focus can help you. And flow can help you fly through challenging tasks that you're decently skilled at, but it helps you generate a very high energy level, and high productivity comes out of that. I used to run sales teams of thousands of people for years, and what I used to do is to joke about flow, and I used to tell them do the course, because some of them will be scared of doing the course. I'll say do the course, and after a few, you're gonna get so confident that you'll even call the president of Zimbabwe. And it's true. Like, how do you get excited? Do you wait for the feeling of excitement and empowerment and confidence to come? Or do you do it the other way? Yes, you do it the other way, which is do the thing and you shall have power. You do the work and you do it again and you do it again. All of a sudden that feeling comes to you. So it's a reverse engineer. You have to do it backwards. You do the thing and you shall have power. Now, studies say that it takes about 11 minutes to enter a state of flow, and it takes 1 second to break. And I remember I used to work with people directly that I was coaching and training, and we'll be at a cafe or a restaurant or wherever we were, and I'll be working and they might have questions and I didn't answer. I just told them they have to wait until I finished my goals and my tasks that I was working on at that time, because I didn't want to break that level of concentration. So if you want to be a high achiever, you have to work on your focus and let your focus take you into a state of flow. Step number number 9 is develop a sense of urgency. You have to develop a bias for action. Unstoppable people, they have a strong sense of urgency. They don't wait, they get things done now. You can be patient for your big goals and dreams, but the little steps, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Well, you got to start taking bites right now. You don't look at this big elephant and say, that's my dream, I got to get that done. The law of attraction, that elephant-sized goal is going to be in my backyard, is going to be, I'm going to possess that. No, it's not going to happen with the law of attraction. The law of attraction is great because you start seeing all the opportunities around you. Your focus level helps you achieve and magnify your goals towards you, but you got to take action. That's the only way that you can possess that. And unstoppable people, they achieve clarity by setting clear goals, and then they go after them one by one by one by one. How do you climb a massive building? Well, you take the staircase if there's no elevator. If you just climb that staircase, what will happen if you're just focusing on those little steps every single day? After 30 days, you're gonna look back and think, what the heck? I'm not gonna go back there. I'm already this far up. Mount Everest. How do you climb Mount Everest? Do you look at it and say, oh my goodness, that is so big? You're gonna get discouraged if you see how big it is. I'm on my personal goals right now, and some of them are so aggressive and so big that if I just looked at the big goal, I would think, oh, how am I gonna get that? But I've developed a step-by-step guide on how to do what I do every day so I can get that goal cut down into smaller pieces so I can achieve that. Urgency is important for every person wanting to become unstoppable and achieve their biggest aspirations. Step number 10 is develop systems and rituals. I used to work with sheer willpower and I used to get a lot done. But what's ironic is I used to burn out, and the burnout will set me back and I'm back to square one. So one day at the gym, I was doing some weights and I was listening to Tony Robbins in my ears, and he said something that just blew my mind, and it just clicked for me. He said, willpower doesn't last, rituals do. And that clicked. I developed systems in every area of my life, even my family life. This takes away the effort from the conscious mind, and it habituates and organizes our minds, and it helps you long term. It helps you with stamina. It helps you keep on going without burning out. What do you do the first thing in the morning? Do you get up and do you read? Do you do a little bit of exercise? For example, for me, what I do when I wake up, first thing I do, I take a book with me. I do what I got to do in the morning. I go for my bathroom break, and then I go to my garage and I just punch the bag, my kickboxing bag, and I just sweat. I get my heart going. I get my brain to focus better, because that's what movement does. It helps you with focus, and I play some basketball in my backyard. I've got a basketball ring as well, and that helps me with concentration. I've got to concentrate to get the ball in, and I just get really excited when I hear the swish. I've got that ritual going on, especially when it's good weather. That's when I go outside. But what are your systems for work? How do you work? How do you get a big goal broken down into weekly tasks and daily tasks, and how do you stay on top of it? And do you have workers? How do you delegate the work to your workers? Do you do it on a Sunday and set up their whole week? Do you do a meeting with your team at the start of the week to make sure they're set up for the next week? And do you run off the to-do list? And do you run with Zoom calls? And do you have Skype as a system? Do you have Trello as a system? None of these are sponsored, by the way. What kind of systems do you have in your life and your work life that help you get the most out of your productivity? Now, also for me on Saturdays, what I do is you can't reach me. My phone is off from the morning till night, and you can't reach me. Why? Because that's my family day. That's my unplug from social media, the unplug. I don't want to overload my mind every single day. In fact, the reason why I'm on my phone during the week is because of work. I've got so many things with work through my phone, and otherwise I just switch it off on Saturdays. And what that does is it gives me a complete connection with my family. I completely become present with them. And then what I do on Sundays as well is I don't use my phone much as well, but what I do is I plan for the next week. So I plan, do, review. I'll review first the week before. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? How can I get the next week better? What that does is shortcuts your growth, because now you can observe what went right, what went wrong, how you made phone calls, how you made that follow-up, or whether your system to develop that website worked, or whether your workers were good enough, and how you can train them how to get better and more effective and efficient. So you plan the next week as well, and you can even delegate for all your employees if you are a business owner and you have employees. And you can also write affirmations, so on and so forth. So this is awesome stuff. You could do this on Sundays. I recommend Sundays because it's just kind of the day before work starts again. What are your systems for personal development? Do you grow every single day? For me, when I'm boxing in the morning and playing basketball in the morning, I have personal growth in the morning. And as I said, I read a book as well in the morning. And then during the day, I have other periods where I grow as well. I need to know something. I need to learn something really quickly. I pull out YouTube or I pull out an audio book, and I dig in and I just need to learn. And there are many times where I am doing a course. Like right now, I am doing a course to learn through packaged information that is suited for me to get to that next level in life. You know, what's your systems for health? What's your systems for your family? And you got to figure all this out. And everything needs a system if you want to get the most out of your life. You can be spontaneous, but you leave room for that. That's also a system to be able to just be spontaneous. Like our Saturdays is completely spontaneous. At night, we are pretty spontaneous after I finish work as well. Step number 11 is exercise frequently. Exercise not only helps your body, but your brain too. We focus much better and it enhances our level of thinking and stamina, mental stamina, when we exercise. Your brain's ability to adapt and wire itself enhances. Neuroplasticity thrives from exercise. It makes your brain more elastic, and when you're fatigued, what you want to do is you want to exercise. When you can't seem to focus and you're trying to work on this task, man, go and exercise for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, come back and watch what happens. Take a break, a walk, punch the bag, shoot the ball, do something physical, and this will change your state. Even jumping up and down, man. I'm telling you, when you jump up and down and you just change the physical activity in your body, that, because your nervous system talks to your brain, and that will change your state immediately. But eating is a huge deal too. Stop eating rubbish all the time. My family, we eat total organic foods, always. We even make our own breads to avoid the folic acid in bread that you find at the shops. And we have a distilling system at home for our water to get rid of all the fluoride and all the toxins in the water. We get all our meats from private farms, free range, grass fed. We even got them to send videos to us so we can make sure that we know where this meat comes from. We eat our foods with bone broth most of the times, and our vitamins and our vitamin C. It's not lab created, and they're all organic. Now this makes a huge difference in my family's overall energy levels and health. Step number 12 is change your posture and the hop in your step. Changing your posture triggers a change in your nervous system, and your nervous system sends signals to your brain that tells your brain you're confident. For example, expansive posture tells your brain that you're confident and you're ready to take on the world. And slouched shoulders and head down, what that does is it tells your brain that you're sad, you're timid, you're not confident. So all these subtle changes make a big difference in your life. And the way that you walk also expresses your confidence. Now try this for a week. Even if you had to put it on, and comment in the comments section your results. I want to know how you felt. Was there any difference in your mental state just by changing your posture and the way that you walk? Step number 13 is to practice a form of martial arts, even for a year. Look, I trained for a few years in martial arts, and that stayed with me forever. I had more assurance, more confidence, more discipline. Just knowing that you can defend yourself and your family brings a new energy to your life. Do this for even a year and your life will be completely different, and consider it a form of exercise. I've been training my kids since they were 1 or 2 from home. With the pads and the gloves and just kicks and a few things and a little bit of wrestling at home. And now we're looking at enrolling them in Taekwondo and Jiu-Jitsu just to start with, and hopefully get them a black belt within a few years. And then I'm going to be taking them into boxing and Muay Thai to complete the package. I think that these are all important. You can choose whatever you want. You can choose fun stuff. Whatever it is, just make sure that you choose something that can help you, because that will definitely bring more confidence into your life. Step number 14 is to develop your own philosophy. The word philosophy in Greek means the love of wisdom. It's important to develop your own points of view, your own perspectives. You got to ask questions and don't stop until you get the answers. Build your knowledge base, build your points of view, and as I said, your perspectives, and carefully structure your belief systems. If you don't do this, then society will, TV will, the media will, your circle will, and hopefully your circle is positive and encouraging and uplifting. And that usually doesn't go too well if you just let your philosophy be developed by outside forces. You got to be intentional and take control of this. Some ways to do this is to read a lot, is to listen to a lot of audiobooks, it's to apply your knowledge in the real world, because you have to have application to experience and review your results, and to continuously seek improvements and better ways to go at things. We've all heard it before: ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and it will be open to you. Put in a different way, having your own philosophy happens when you seek to understand fundamental truths about yourself, the world that you live in, your place in the world, and your relationship with others. This is the development of wisdom. So make sure that you develop your own philosophy and become wiser in your life. I think this is very important to be able to influence others and become unstoppable. Step number 15 is to take responsibility. You are where you are today because of all the decisions that you've made up until today. Even if life was unfair to you, which life is unfair, you still have to take back your power, and that only happens when you take responsibility. And look, your best thinking got you to where you are at today. You need a new level of thinking to take you to new places. This is why I do what I do, to help millions of people develop their thinking, take responsibility, and take back their power. Step number 16 is to do some personal development daily. It's not a one-time occasion. Only consistency will actually get you these true results. Albert Einstein says it. He says compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Those who know it make it, and those who don't pay it. I believe the same is true for personal development. The ones that do it properly make it big, and that you'll experience it in many parts of your life. That's making it big mentally, emotionally, spiritually, socially, and physically. And look, I've even spoken to doctors. I'm a certified master trainer in a certain program, and I deal with a lot of psychologists and a lot of doctors, and I speak to a lot of high-level professionals. And what happens is they tell me, I've heard it from a few people that, yeah, sure, we've heard this stuff before. It's all about the application though. So many people know some things, but they don't apply it. You have to apply it for true growth to actually take place. And we will never have it all figured out. We are imperfect human beings, man. We mess up so much. I mess up. We all mess up. And I want you to know that I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. If anyone preaches as if they are perfect, they are probably the furthest from perfect ever. The people that don't have a growth plan though, they suffer because we are either growing or dying. So make sure you're taking the growing path. Tip number 17 is focus on becoming more emotionally intelligent. EQ, which is emotional intelligence, is more important than IQ in most cases. They navigate through life better. They have great relationships, they get more promotions at work and build bigger businesses. They deal with challenges and issues much quicker and better, more effectively and more efficiently. And they get past hurts and disappointments much quicker, because we're going to get disappointed and hurt many times. It's our emotional intelligence that sorts through those emotions really quickly and comes up with a conclusion to move forward faster. Notice all prominent company CEOs with big companies, they're all emotionally intelligent. It's because they have to expand the company with better decision making, better rational thinking. They need to make quick decisions. They have to lead teams of leaders and teams of followers, and they have to make hard choices like firing people, hiring people, eliminating products, knowing when to introduce a new product. It sounds hard when you're looking at it from the outside, but when you're emotionally intelligent, this becomes much easier. It becomes like second nature. In fact, sometimes emotionally intelligent people don't realize how emotionally intelligent they are because they live with themselves. It's who they've become. They still have fear, they still have doubt, they still have uncertainty from time to time, but they develop enough bravery, confidence, and faith in themselves to lead from the front. And emotional intelligence is actually a buildable quality based on the latest science and neuroplasticity. Anyone can change their brain's wiring, which also includes emotional wiring, your emotional responses. How you respond to things and people and situations can change, but you just have to rewire that. Even the shaking in your leg when something's happening, all of that can be rewired, but you have to be intentional. You have to know how to rewire all those things, and we'll train on those in some of our YouTube clips, and we'll have courses on those as well. Step number 18 is to find a way to get rejected and get used to it. This also ties into emotional intelligence. I've worked in sales teams for more than half of my life. Ever since the age of 16, I was actually selling, and first I was nervous, I was freaking out, I was confused. Everyone was making sales around me, and I wasn't making any sales, but I had to work, and so I pushed myself. And the more I got rejected, at first it really hurt, but the more I got rejected, the more I built the muscle of I don't care what they say. I became braver. My energy levels stayed higher. My enthusiasm didn't diminish anymore. It became a numbers game. And after some time, I built a sales force of thousands of people. And in all my training systems, and we trained all the time, I included the numbers game. I taught them how to detach from the no, to understand timing, to understand people better, and get to know personality types. There were about 4 personality types, so we can get into that in other videos. I even had them look for no's and make a count on how many no's they were getting instead of the yeses. And I remember once we met up and we were having a challenge on who can get the most no's, and people were getting upset when they were getting the yeses. So I kind of reversed the emotion. And you should try that too. You should face rejection. You should put yourself in a situation where you do get rejected. Society has made us feel like we're being judged all the time, and we hate being judged and rejected. We take it as a rejection to our success. How many times were you rejected from your parents as a toddler? If only you still had that same spirit. You can't fear rejection if you want to become unstoppable. I'm going to be honest with you. You need to make it a part of your game plan. Even if you think you're not dealing with people, which you always will be dealing with people, even if it's a software that you're building that doesn't take off, that's rejection. You're gonna get multiple setbacks. It might be a website that turned out to be ineffective, and you gotta try to find how to optimize it and make it workable and effective, not just look good. People go through this all the time. There was a story about a drink that was being released in the marketplace, and people called it 1-Up, and then they did it again. It didn't work out. They did it again, and they called it 2-Up to come with a rebranding model. They named it 3-Up, and then 4-Up, and then 5-Up, and then 6-Up, and then they sold the idea. It was a good idea, but they couldn't crack the code, and then someone went out there and they tried it again, and they kept on trialing and erroring, and then they called this drink 7-Up, and that popped and blew up. It's not a true story, but it just shows you that you have to try multiple times. Even if you get rejected, try again, try again, try again, try again until it pops. I recommend doing a side hustle that involves human rejection. Yes, I said it. You need to pursue rejection. Take it as your personal growth. This is a very important pillar for your overall success. It really is. You need to learn how to push through that rejection with the same or even higher enthusiasm. This is where persistence grows to, and without persistence, you'll never get past resistance. Step number 19 is to never break your word. One thing I love about the old days, their word was their bond. Japanese culture is still like that, actually. They love to keep their word. They have a lot of honor. We have become a weak and soft society. I have to be real about this. We say things we don't mean, and we give our words, our promises and commitments like it's nothing, and that's sad. If I say something and you have to doubt whether I'm gonna do it or not, then I haven't done a good job at representing my commitment to doing what I say. Keeping your word gives people no choice but to respect you. Your words are heavier than the average person, your authority grows, you develop influence, companies will want you, people will trust you, people will love you, and most importantly, you will love and respect yourself more, which is so important. The benefits are endless. You gotta make a decision to only make promises that you can keep. Step number 20 is make overachieving a habit. I never do 10. If I say I'm gonna do 10 of something, I'm always doing 11 or more. Push-ups, I'm doing 11. Basketball in my backyard, I'm gonna get 10 shots, I'll do 11. Calls, if I say I'm gonna do 10, I'm gonna do 11. My whole family does this now. Even my oldest son at 6 years old, he was doing it even before he was 6. He never stops at the number that he's given. He's always doing more. We taught him that. Why? It's a psychological trick. Most people won't even do 10 when they say they're gonna do 10. Great people do 10. World-class people do 11 plus. Doing this becomes a habit that's etched into the fiber of your personality, and man, that's attractive, it's admirable, and you become a leader by example. And the best part of this is that it will 10x your income, 10x your happiness, and 10x your success. Number 21 is earn yourself a spot in leadership circles. If you follow all the steps that we've given so far, naturally you will be noticed, and this will increase your respect and authority in the marketplace. And leaders love to network with other leaders. They find value forming relationships with other people with similar traits. Plus, it gives them access to resources and more connections. But you need to earn the spot. You need to become the type of person to deserve a spot in leadership circles. Step number 22 is make it a lifestyle. I'm all for relaxation and downtime. I think you absolutely need it to function at your best. But here's the truth. Wherever you go, there you are. Wherever Michael Jordan goes, there he is. I mean, he even went to baseball and he killed it. Why? Because he is just an overachiever. He's just unstoppable. In other words, you can't be part-time unstoppable. You need to develop the self-talk that you are an overachiever, an overcomer. You are a champion, an important person playing an important role in life. We will always have ups and downs. Our downs build our character, our wisdom, our resilience. Our ups build our accolades, our successes, our finances, and so many other things. Always think of yourself as an unstoppable person, not part-time. You can't be part-time unstoppable, but have the humility to know that you can fall. You can fall. Everyone falls. Just keep your self-talk positive no matter what. because we are gonna fall. Your self-talk just needs to override those voices in your head when you are taking a fall. Learn from those and bounce up better and smarter than ever before. Step number 23 is be patient and prepare for a long-term game. You're gonna mess this up, and sometimes in a big way. We're all gonna mess it up, and sometimes in a big way. That's the point of this mindset though, to know that even when you mess it up, it's okay, it's all right. You're gonna get this done. You're gonna get back up quicker and better than all the people around you that are not unstoppable. So you need to be unstoppable so that every time you do mess up, which you're bound to, you'll get back up more effectively and efficiently and quicker than everyone else. Step number 24 is discover what you're good at and become the best at that. Take time to identify your purpose. A good hint to know what your purpose is to find out what you're passionate about. Do many things and find what you're good at and love doing that you'll even do it for free. I mean, I love doing what I do so much right now that I would do it for free. I was a mess when I was younger. I was intoxicated all the time with drug addictions, and now for me to be able to serve you makes me feel good. It gives me purpose. It gives me purpose knowing that I can impact someone else's life. So try many things, and when you find what you're good at, become so good that they cannot ignore you. It's a competitive market out there. You need to be different and you need to have an edge. Not everyone's gonna like me. I'm not looking to make everyone like me. I wanna have my own niche of people that wanna become unstoppable. They wanna think like this and they wanna go on a journey with me towards excellence. You need to have an edge and you need to be different, and that comes from becoming so good at what you do that you don't say it to yourself. People tell you how good you are. It's not just about what you say to yourself. You need to hear it from others. Read the books, listen to the tapes, do the courses, trial and error, plan, do, review your work, and continue to close the gap through experience and education, and then apply deliberate practice, not trying to practice the whole skill set, the whole business, trying to find little things within the skill set to really focus on and get better at. That's deliberate practice. In fact, that's how Olympic athletes practice, and that's how they get so much better, so much quicker than the average person that's practicing without knowing how to practice. Step number 25, always set goals and work off a to-do list. You need goals to know where to concentrate your attention. You need goals to pull you. You don't just always have to push and push and push with willpower. Let goals pull you so you know the vision of where you're going, and you need to set clear time frames. Envision where you want to be in 6 months and work backwards. Who do I have to be? What do I have to do to get here? And here you can add implementation intentions, which are backup plans within your goals. If you don't do this, then you're risking failure at a much bigger rate. When you have implementation intentions, then you set your goal, but then you put backup plans within your goal. If this happens, then I'll do this. If I run out of contacts, then I'll do this. If I run out of money, then I'll do this. I'll get a loan from this place, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, you have to have implementation intentions, and this will make your subconscious mind automatically pivot so it doesn't have to overthink anything when the time comes. In fact, it'll be harder not to do that when you set implementation intentions. We can teach this in other videos, and we do teach this in our courses as well. Then make monthly, weekly, and daily goals, and make sure you stay on track. Plan, do, review every single Sunday of the week. Step number 26 is study leadership. You can't be unstoppable if you're not a leader, and you can be a leader. Look, leadership is an important quality to move a family, to move a company, to move a community into the right direction. And if you remain a follower, you're always waiting on someone else's command, their instructions, their signals, or approval to move forward. You have to make sure you take initiative and lead from the front. John Maxwell says, everything rises and falls on leadership. It's so true. This is why when you see leaders go into companies, they transform them. They blossom wherever they go. It's not the company, it's the leader driving that company. I consider myself a leader, and I've worked so hard to develop my leadership qualities, and it changed my whole life. If I ran an event, if I led a team, if I built a new team, whatever I was doing, it worked pretty well. I mean, of course, you make mistakes, everyone does, but it worked really well because I always worked on my leadership via example. Now look, the whole point of this video is to become unstoppable. So you gotta be, do, have. You might have heard that before. You gotta become the person that you need to become, do the work necessary and required in order to deserve to have what you're looking to have. This is what our company does for people. You need to become the person before having. Whatever your dreams are, investing in yourself is your best bet. No matter what happens in the world, in governments, in economies, you will always have an edge when you become unstoppable. You'll be a person of high skill sets and a person with a growth mindset, a person of integrity, strong belief systems, a person of honor, leadership, and a person we look to for inspiration. All of this can be you, my friend. Take your first steps today. Put these lessons into action today, one by one. Don't get scared about how many points there are here. Repetition is the mother of all skills. So you want to make sure you grab a skill or a point here and you do it again and again and again and habituate that into your life. I sucked at first. I was so bad. I was a drug addict. I was a definition of a troubled team. I was a definition of a loser. I really was. I mean, I thought I was a winner in my world and I thought we were doing cool things, but in reality, we were losers. And you know the saying, everything he touches gold? For me, it was everything he touches used to break. Seriously, I turned my whole life around. Now I live in abundance, and if you already possess some of the above qualities, look, there's always a new level of excellence waiting for you. We're never a finished product. Hey, by the way, thank you for watching this video till the end. Make sure you subscribe before you go. Hit the notification bell below so you don't miss our content. Like and comment in the comment section, and we'll see you in the next video. God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey friend, I hope you liked the video. Before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and you hit the notification bell below. Like and comment in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you. And make sure you check out the other videos that we have. We're going to be releasing so much amazing content to serve you. So hey, have a great day and God bless you. Bye-bye.